Here to have a discussion on a manager's new superpower, smart use of AI. Before I bring in the speakers onto the board, we would like to show you a short video on it. Here we go.
In the dynamic landscape of managers, executives, and directors, your AI superpower begins with continuous learning. Transition from a fixed mindset to one that embraces the ever-evolving realm of AI. Elevate your understanding and adaptability to manage with confidence. Imagine your role as an executive, not just witnessing innovation, but championing it. Shifting from risk aversion to becoming the architect of calculated experiments. Manage your team fearlessly into the uncharted territories where AI solutions await. As a manager, envision AI not as a replacement, but as your strategic ally. Cultivate a mindset that recognizes AI as a tool to amplify your human capabilities. Foster collaboration between your team and AI, unlocking unprecedented productivity and creativity. Your decisions are only as strong as the data behind them. Evolve from relying solely on intuition to becoming a champion of data literacy. Equip yourself and your team with the skills to harness the power of data, making informed decisions that drive success. Management is not just about results, it's about integrity. Shift your focus from performance outcomes to incorporating ethical considerations in AI implementation. Ensure fairness, transparency, and accountability in every decision, setting a standard for ethical individual, management, and organization development. Break free from departmental constraints. As an executive, lead the charge in dismantling silos. Foster cross-functional collaboration, uniting diverse perspectives, and leveraging AI as the catalyst for innovation that transcends traditional boundaries. Now, let's explore how you as managers, executives, and directors can leverage AI tools to create value and elevate your own capabilities. Utilize AI-powered tools to enhance your decision-making process, combining human expertise with machine insights. Integrate AI algorithms into your strategic planning, leveraging predictive analytics for informed and forward-thinking strategies. Use AI to tailor leadership development programs, ensuring personalized growth for you and your team members. Leverage AI-driven insights to understand stakeholders better, fostering stronger and more meaningful relationships. Make AI serve what you can do. Don't inadvertently become in awe of AI and enslaved to its functions. With care and the right approach can implement AI for data-driven performance reviews, ensuring fair and objective evaluations. Utilize AI tools to optimize your time, focusing on high-impact tasks and strategic initiatives. As managers, your role in bringing AI-assisted value creation to your organization is pivotal. Educate yourself. Start small. Involve stakeholders early. Prioritize data quality. Build a skilled team and communicate transparently. Actively manage innovation. Measure and communicate ROI. Address ethical concerns. Provide training for your team, and always evaluate and iterate. Managers, executives, and directors, your superpower lies not just in understanding AI, but in how you wield it. With every strategic decision, every collaborative effort, and every embrace of AI capabilities, you're shaping the future of your organization and indeed the future of the world. Do this with great care.
Let's welcome Thomas and Rajiv onto the floor to have this discussion started. Over to you, Rajiv and Thomas. Welcome to the show.
Okay.
Yeah. Good evening.
Thank you, Prem. Hello. Hello, Rajiv. How are you?
Yeah, good, Thomas. Nice.
I think we've got some interesting subject matter for today, which is, I guess, something that's increasingly occupying all of us as managers and leaders, which is the learning curve, which is AI. I think in just a year, because it's only been just over a year since we've had public access, how much we've developed and grown, and how much I've been able to kind of improve my productivity. I guess the same must be true for you as well, Rajiv.
Yeah, absolutely. So there are a lot of challenges which are there around AI, and it is becoming challenging for the managers and directors to understand the intricacies and how to utilize AI for the benefit of their organizations. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what's coming to the fore, I read an article the other day by Bernard Marr, who's one of the most respected voices and kind of observers and commentators on the AI whole development process on a global basis. And he wrote an article which was all about new jobs arising as a result of AI. And what was really interesting to me is that every single one of the 12 jobs he listed were all to do with getting AI to give managers and leaders the things that they wanted as the outcomes, and not just leaving it to run free to create its own frameworks and its own ideas independent of that. So it was very much about enhancing humans as opposed to replacing humans. And I see that as the key job of managers going forward. In getting so our job as managers is really to uh, be clear about getting AI to give us what we, and we being the rest of the human race, really want and need to take our world forward. So we have to do this, as it said at the end of the video there, with great care. And I thought a good way to introduce today's session would be to kind of introduce some changes in perspective that we might need. And I'd like tables on our normal person, normally our host here, which is Prem Kumar. So, hello, Prem. We're going to turn it around to you on the other as a CIO and a very experienced one at that. We wanted to involve you much more in the debate, please, about these changes that are taking place and maybe your take on some of the things that are going on. Some of the things that seem to be emerging in terms of shifts in perspective are things like, well, obviously, embracing continuous learning. I don't think I've ever learned faster to incorporate technology than I have done in the last 12 months. And I've certainly been happy to experiment. And maybe it takes a little bit of confidence and a bit of encouragement, but it has given me some amazing resources that I've been able to use. And we're starting to get this kind of boundary between the human and machine interface. It's brand new, it's in a new way, and it seems to be in a much more useful way. Um, and I'm having to become much more literate, computer literate. All of a sudden, I've been at a plateau for a number of years, but now it's really shifting. And increasingly, I find myself involved in a debate about what's the ethical way to deploy AI in this situation. So there's a shift in behavior, if you like, from focusing solely on performance to incorporating many more ethical considerations as well. So some quite interesting things going on there. And of course, the other thing it's doing is making it possible to collaborate, as we are doing, the three of us this afternoon, collaborating across three countries. Not that AI is particularly involved, but I know that it really helps us prepare our ground and think through the subjects that we wish to address in a much more thorough way. But it helps us, we're not helping it. So, having said that, what I'd like to do now is to kind of open up an exploratory conversation between Prem, please, as a CIO, and Rajiv. Maybe a bit of an interview situation, if you wouldn't mind, and maybe we'll take the conversation from there.
Sure, Thomas.
Oh, sure, Thomas. Prem, you have been CIO and you have been dabbling with AI from many years. So, what do you think? How is AI going to help the managers and directors in the companies and leaders actually in terms of reducing the repetitive task, or in terms of having some predictive analytical tools working for them? And is it going to actually strengthen the organization, or how the impact is going to be on the overall corporate world? So I would like to hear you out. Yes.
Yeah, see, thank you for that, Rajiv. Looking at AI, AI has been there as a tool for pretty long. Now we are talking more about AI. Okay, looking at AI is more to look at automation, right? So, how do you have automation done for mundane jobs, like generating a report where people are needed? That could be one of the area where AI may replace. And if you have an automation done and it learns by itself. Artificial intelligence learns by itself, and that's where the reporting structures, like if I have to have a monthly leads report, which I send a mail to somebody, that could be one of the automation that will happen. That's happening, actually speaking. While people send a specific requirement and AI generates it for them. Now, if there is a new update, then things change. Like that, there are many things which managers don't need to rely on. Now, some of the uh, videos that are created also, you just type you want to give a presentation, there is some content which we don't find right words, so AI can help you out there. So it brings you that content for you. But end of the day, when you really look at Rajiv, AI is not going to take away anybody's jobs, but it will enhance anybody's way of thinking, and the way of having data on fingertips becomes more easier to the managers.
Right, right. I agree with you. So, Prem, how do you think the customers are also very important part of any corporate, and is AI going to enhance the customer experience part of it and make it more personalized, and also how we can optimize the supply chain management through AI tools?
Rajiv, looking at see, when we talk about AI has done so many things. Like one, I think one is the screening of resources for a particular job. That I think it is just able to pick up the right resumes, but what AI is doing is it's giving you a output of what is there as a pointer that you fed. Now, AI, by learning itself, with ML being part of it, machine learning being part of it, it changes out drastically. It learns by itself, where machine learning gives that inputs. It keeps the record of it, and that's how it takes up. So it helps in many ways. Many ways is that automation from a security standpoint, which I am a technology guy, as you know. So what I see is from a security and incident management, there are a lot of things which are known. If you don't need a person to have on the first level, where a KMDB is brought up, a common known error database is brought up, uh, where if I send a query, that comes up as an answer. This is a recommended answer. This can be one of the possibilities. Now, if you see on the Google search, or any other tools that are getting there, even Microsoft Word or Excel, PowerPoint, they all are coming up with suggestions now. When you type, you find a design coming up. Would you like to use this design? Would you like to do that design? So everything is getting added to the AI and giving you suggestions. But end of the day, it is you who have to take the decision.
Okay, okay, great. So, Prem, with your lot of experience in the industry, what do you think? Is it enhancing the decision support system for the managers and directors? And also, please touch upon NLP part of it. How that is actually contributing to the managers, as a manager support system.
Okay. So looking at the current scenario, managers are getting options for them to have. Multiple options are being given to them when they take up the search, like ChatGPT or anybody, where you give a set of questionnaires there that frames you, maybe a text, a statement, or a letter that you want to write, where you are not able to find right words. So ChatGPT gives you a enabled tool. Again, now, if you want to create a video of us discussion, you can ask tools like Visla, then you have Wondershare and other tools like that, where they create videos for you. There are many platforms which have come up for video content creation, and that helps the managers to at least understand, if I have to present something, how would it look at least. Earlier, we had to present it, maybe the management did not like at junctures. Now we are able to see how that data can be looked upon, viewed, Will it make sense? What would the man? There are a lot of suggestions given by the AI tools nowadays, Rajiv. That
Great.
helps the
Yeah,
manager.
absolutely, absolutely. See, both machines and people, they are very critical for the organization these days. If your system goes down or if your a person leaves the job, the impact is almost same. Sometimes the system maintenance is becoming more critical than people, because people have backup, but systems sometimes people they don't have a backup. But good IT managers are always keeping a backup for their machines also. So, do you think AI is helping helping in predictive maintenance and also in talent acquisition part of it?
Yes, it does help, Rajiv. Very
Yeah.
simple answer, but yes, it does help.
Great, great, great.
I
Thomas,
think
yeah,
you're right. I'm wanting to chime in a little bit
Yeah.
from a kind of managerial and a Regenesis point of view, something we talk
yeah,
about a lot. And I think one
yeah.
of the best pieces of advice I've ever received was that only to ask AI to do something that you're already good at yourself. And that's because I think, partly in the past, particularly, it's getting a bit better now. AI has the ability to hallucinate the truth because it's not really thinking. A large language model, as far as I understand it, is simply producing the next word that would probably occur in a sequence of words. So it's very good at providing a natural, as it says here, NLP, a natural language processing. But it's interesting because NLP in my world used to mean neuro linguistic programming, which was about how we talk with ourselves and other people to create certain results. Whereas natural language processing is not the same thing at all. It's very, very interesting. We've got this subtle difference. So, for instance, in talent acquisition, I think it's okay for AI to help a human, but I don't think it's okay for it to replace a human because I've seen, particularly in talent acquisition, we've got some very strange results.
Yeah, I agree to you, Thomas. NLP does
Evidencing.
a lot of, yeah, lot of things which are very straight, and it enables computers to comprehend and generate, manipulate human language, right? So it is
Yeah,
more to look at how it has to comprehend and how it has to uh, or manipulate. It's a wrong word to say, but it takes the cues and comprehends on the pointers that you want to look at. That can go
yeah.
wrong at times as well, as you rightly said, Tom.
The way I've begun to look at it personally is it's like having a very creative and logical friend in the room who can think very quickly and give you ideas about a subject or explore something or bring all the data together about a particular subject into a sensible list or a few paragraphs. And I find it wonderful in that respect. So it speeds up my thinking enormously. And I find as long as I'm keeping it in pursuit of the outcomes that I have agreed with my clients or that I'm pursuing, I find it's good. And where I find it a little bit, sometimes almost, it's interesting looking at Bernard Marr's article in Forbes this month. Engineers, so people that are good at writing the questions or the prompt to cause AI to do the thing that create the outcomes required, or a generative design specialist. So what do I need to feed the AI so that it spits out what I'm wanting to create, as opposed to what it can create? And there's a subtle difference between the two. So I find all of that really fascinating. And I find sometimes I have to almost, it feels like, obviously it's not a feeling because AI doesn't feel, I feel I have to push AI quite hard to go in the direction I want it to go in rather than just a direction, it is able to go in really quickly. Sometimes the first or the second or the third or even fourth, fifth or sixth iterations of its response will be off beam. So what's your take on all this, Prem? How do we deal with this? It feels like, it's not this, but it feels like almost AI has a willfulness to do what it wants rather than what we want. Yes, if we push, it will, of course, do our bidding. Very interesting. What's your
Yeah,
take?
yes, Thomas. So let's go back little to what we did while the Googles came out. So they had a lot of data mining done, right? Initially, we used to get a lot of different algorithms where Google had started giving data which was not accurate. Then they started doing data mining stuff where the search results were made much better. Okay, and that's how I see even AI coming in to give you a lot of options, but it's still at times it just throws up saying that I am not having that data at the moment or not having that kind of an insight, right, Thomas? If you see, that's where I think it is evolving, and as it evolves, it's making much better and it is learning by itself. There are a lot of people who want to ask the question, same question in a different format. So it is taking up a lot of information. As you rightly said, it gives you three, four iteratives. Now people try to combine three, four options that it gives and then make it a proper statement, right, Thomas?
Yeah, 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 absolutely. I mean, it's incredibly powerful in that regard, but I do feel that it's very, very important for managers in particularly to understand the outcomes that we want, the outcomes that are required. A lot of ethical debate to take place in the human population that has nothing to do with the AI capability, that we need to be clear about what we want and we need to have it help us deliver those things. And I think that's a profound understanding here. But it is very powerful, very, very powerful indeed. And I think it's great for things that are either rational or logical or factual.
Okay.
I don't know that it has a sense of what I would call rightness yet. And, obviously that has our human subjectivity in it, but somehow that's essential to our well-being. Somehow we've got to retain this sense of subjectivity because that's also where our creativity is. Because we have the idea that doesn't fit the mold. It's not like what we've done before. We have, those new things. How do you think it's going to play into creativity? Because there's a lot of people who are deferring to AI as the kind of master intelligence. Do you think that's right? Or do you think that's an error? Where are you at with it as somebody that's been in the field a long time?
That's for me to take it, Thomas. Thomas, the question is for me, right?
Yes, yes, please, Prem.
Yeah. So on the creative side, now see AI. As we started talking, there are so many tools coming for photographic enhancement. Then you have video creation, and then you have now people are ready to give us ask AI to write a script for a short movie, short video, right? So that's where the creativity is getting enhanced, and it picks up random images and it collates it to the right text that you are giving or the script that you are trying to give. It brings up lot of content which it shows, which is available on the internet, and collates it for you in a very nice and neat format. You will always think as it is being shot with a camera and this one, but if you really look at the creativity side is getting more enhanced in bringing out these tools with AI, Thomas.
Yeah. What about your view, Rajiv? Where are you at as a manager and board developer and all the things that you do in your work? How do you think it's playing into those agendas?
Well, AI is actually helping all the directors and board members because these days compliance management also and risk management is also very, very important for the organization. So I see that uh, managers are using and directors are using AI tools for their internal board management. They also have AI actually guiding them on how to drive the board agenda, how to actually monitor a situation where there is some kind of a risk which is there in the overall system. So AI is actually giving a lot of alerts to the board members on the overall holistic management of the company. So the dependence is becoming more and more on AI tools, and but that doesn't undermine the requirement of the efficient managers, leaders in the organization. But yes, the world is moving towards utilizing AI tools for the betterment of the organization. Yeah.
Do you think it will ever be a permissible defence in court to say, for a director to say, if a company makes a serious mistake, the AI told me to do it, and that would be acceptable,
No,
or is that never going to be
no,
acceptable?
not at all. Not at all. Not at all. See, legal systems are AI can only help in giving you data, but at the end of the day, you cannot say that I made this mistake because of this reason. And there is a saying in law: ignorance of law or error of law is no excuse. So you need to be, be on the right side always, and you need to know how to manage AI tools for your organization. But at the end of the day, you have to use your own rationale to filter whether this is a correct positioning or not. But yes, it is helping in corporate governance and it is helping in a lot of other stuff. Yes.
Certainly, for me, I've been able to do a lot more work since I've had these tools available. But I really like that notion that ignorance of the limitations of AI is no excuse. Somehow we've got to stay conscious. And if it's talking about
Yes.
stuff we don't understand, we should ask somebody who does so that we can get a proper
Yes.
human view as to whether it's appropriate. And I think,
Absolutely.
that's the direction of travel for us all, isn't it? So
Yes. Absolutely.
I guess what I'd be interested in bringing to the fore for our listeners is firstly, what questions is this raising for our listeners, and does anybody want to kind of ask anything that might be relevant to their world? But the thing that I think might be relevant to us all is what tips have we got for bringing AI assisted value creation projects to the organization, and of course, at the same time, staying in charge of it. So, Rajiv, what would you suggest are things that we need to do to manage that whole situation?
Yeah, I think the most important thing, what I feel, is that we must educate the leadership of the organization, first of all, to understand the potential and benefits which AI can bring to the overall, organization. And we must have a lot of, education for them so that they are supportive to implementation of AI tools in the organization. You cannot, because the spectrum is so huge, you cannot implement all the AI tools in one go. But yes, it is always beneficial to start small, to scale up gradually with your AI projects. Choose one project which actually is going to motivate the overall team to actually implement more of them, and bring in the AI as a smartly to the organization. That's what I would like to say. And you can bring organization long projects that is also very much of course, we must involve the stakeholders early. We should actually talk to them. It should not happen that they become averse to the implementation of AI projects. So, I have seen as a child when automation came to India, there were widespread strikes all across India. Banks, in LIC, in financial institutions, people they thought that something very ridiculous has come which will take away their jobs, but the world has changed. From this, I'm talking about 60s and 70s, but the world has changed and people realize the importance of AI and technology and tools. But yes, still there I see sometimes there's a fear in the minds of the existing employees that AI is going to take away our job. So, you must kind of educate and prioritize the overall importance of the data which is given by AI, and utilize that for the benefit of the organization. That's what I feel.
For sure.
Yeah,
And I think it our earlier point, Rajiv, which was it's staying alert to our responsibilities all the time, to bring people along with us and to make sure that we're in charge and that we're taking proper responsibility of all the steps.
yeah.
What about you? What would you
To
add to
what
this picture?
Thomas, I think I have a point here. So, what as Rajiv said, see, when automation came in, many people felt they'll lose their jobs, but eventually the same people had learned automation and they did much better than what they were doing earlier, and they made these jobs easier for them. They were thinking it was a threat for them, but it became a boon for them while they learned the technology to help them out ease their own job. Thomas. So that is what I think AI has done, the automation has done. Now AI also will do the same thing for many of the people who are doing a regular task and they are thinking that is the end of their career and stuff like that. The AI will only help you to bring some of the uh, mundane jobs or repetitive tasks that are required no intervention and can take it by automation, and they can focus on enhancing themselves to the next level. That is one. And the second pointer that we have seeing AI is that AI can bring more creativeness for a person to think and ask questions on right questions at the right point is what I see, Thomas.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, some big things going on there. And I guess that all helps us build a skilled team to communicate transparently or more transparently because we can do so much more quickly. And it's like, as you say, as happened in the last kind of major revolution in practice and automation that we had, it helped us all be more productive.
Absolutely.
A little bit, that we don't consume too much more, but we certainly work more creatively. And hopefully it helps us do a better job around regulatory compliance because we've been a bit loose in that way. And promoting for every one of us more and more a culture of innovation. Every human being is capable of having a load of ideas, and particularly when assisted by AI. So there's a lot of really powerful tools in there. Yeah. Okay, so I guess from my point of view, is there a proper return on investment? And I don't just mean money there. I mean wider contribution to society. It's one of the debates I'm pleased to participate in, particularly with Indian colleagues. It is much more about how does this benefit society rather than how does this make organizations rich. And I think it's how does it, so that return on investment, that wider contribution to society is really, really important here. And as managers, we need to keep an eye on that. And along with that, just keeping our eyes on the ethical concerns to make sure that it's doing good. It's a good force. It's a force for good in that way. and that we help people learn. Even people that maybe don't have a lot of skills at the moment are capable of great learning. And so, how do we spread that out, and how do we provide more training? And then as we go forward, to evaluate very short intervals and check that we're going in a beneficial direction. And for me, I think one of the jobs of managers, a master manager that's anywhere near AI, is to remain dissatisfied. That the version of it that we've got so far is still not as good as we could have it. And we can make it better still for more of the people and more of the planet. And we can stay involved with all of that to make sure that the outcomes that we really, really want to see are actually delivered. So, what about the two of you? What are your top takes of our own destiny, using it to help?
Prem, you can go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So the takeaways are upskill yourself. There is lot that AI can help you with the current your role. From a manager per se, you can have lot of uh, data which you don't need to rely on people. Yes, that helps. And you have control on most of the tasks that you want your team to look at, because you understand that with AI coming up, there are so many jobs that are automated for you, and to present to the management or to the higher level, there is a lot of data in your hand as well, and you understand it better, and you can present it much better, is what I think, Thomas.
Yeah. What about you, Rajiv?
And Thomas, I'm a legal guy, and I would like to touch upon the ethical concerns which you talked about. See, what is happening is, AI tools are sometimes helping people create deep fake videos, or create such conversations which are uh, will be in the voice, which is kind of copied using AI tools. So all this is, adding to the challenge which the world is facing, but it is bringing more opportunity for technology companies. I know a startup which is getting involved into how to detect deepfake videos, and how to trace that whether this video has been created, or actually it's an actual video. So all these of course AI has to be used in a very positive way. So the communication about the importance of AI, the communication about how the AI is going to bring the positive changes in the company. So as you said, ROI is very important. So that is the key. And the top leadership as well as the implementation team, they need to be trained in AI, and they need to be made to understand that what is AI, how it's going to be a differentiator for them. So I think these are the very important aspects which are the takeaways for me today. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. And I think what I would say to everybody out there that's a manager or an executive or a director or a supervisor is, do start to experiment. Do find a way to use some of these tools. They are amazing. Whether it's one of the very widespread ones like ChatGPT, or whether you go, there's a site I discovered the other day which is called There's an AI for That. And I realized there was thousands and thousands of AI tools out there already, and many of them have really niche uses. So, go and play is what I would say. Is learning is often playing at the start. So find a way to play at the moment, and just see, realize its limitations. And that's really important. And I think if there was one thing that I would encourage managers to do, is to think beyond their job as a job and to think about the wider concerns for them and their family and their life and their community and their society. As managers, I think we need to be much, much more in charge of the outcomes. It's something I said earlier. As generative AI continues to evolve, new jobs will emerge, but they're going to be around guiding and refining and interpreting AI. And that, I think, is the job of managers. And not to mention integrating its capabilities into various sectors and various new things. So it can help us do immensely more. But we need to have it help us. And we need to avoid falling into the trap of placing the responsibility on the AI and the thinking we work for it, because it's never going to be that way around, because it's our world. It's a world of living beings. And I think that's really, really important. What we'd like to do at the end of today, as we did last week, we had a lot of response to our offer to push out, if you like, a checklist or a swipe file. And this week's is called 32 Ways to be an AI Master Manager Creator. And it's just as last week, it's a bunch of ideas that will get you started. So if you want one, please drop your name and email in the chat, and we will get that out to you. And I guess because this is also attached to us as Regenesis here, and us as network leads, whenever you're ready, there are 3 ways we can help you. One is, firstly, we can give you a cycle of Regenesis for use in your role as a manager and in your organization. We know on its own, just a short chat is enough to brief you, to walk you through how to use that over a 12-month or so. And we know that will really transform. It's a turnkey intervention, if you like, that can help you transform how well you're doing in terms of your own value, your output, your salary, and also the health and well-being of your organization and its bottom lines. And on a similar vein, a second thing that might interest you, renewal. So if that can be helpful to you, do drop us a note in chat and say that's your interest, and book a free situation analysis with us or a diagnostic with us together. We'd be delighted to help you do that. And then finally, if you would like coaching for yourself or for any of your managers, executives or directors, or your board, come to that with a view to increasing performance and increasing organization bottom lines, then just start with a chat. Explore what's possible. We'll understand more about your situation and we'll see how we can help you. That's why we run these sessions. We try and take a subject a week and try and help you gain insight, new ways of tackling things. So I'd like to say thank you to Rajiv for another interesting conversation. Any last comments from you, Rajiv?
No, thank you very much, Thomas, for bringing in these very important tools through Regenesis. And I'm sure this 32 ways to be a AI master manager is going to be a manager creator is going to be a very, very useful tool for all the managers and directors in the companies all across. And not only it will help them educate their teams and educate their organization in utilizing the AI for their betterment. And we are bringing in a lot of positive content for everyone to share. And these I'm sure these giveaways are going to be very helpful for our viewers. So thank you for that, Thomas.
Okay, thanks, Rajiv. Prem, I guess it's down to your last word as the CIO in charge of our session today, really. What would you say as a final parting message to our listeners?
So there are a lot of tools that are there from an AI standpoint. You can look at creating text, creating videos, creating images, a lot that you can try as a manager, which helps you run your day-to-day business or operations smoothly. and AI is evolving as we discussed. You can try out. There are a lot of training courses available across, and you still have the YouTube University that is there, which gives you a lot of data on AI on small snippets as well. Now, that is what I would like to say. What we have done over here is we've just pasted the offer what Thomas has told. Please drop in your email ID. We will send you a copy of the 32 ways of being an AI master manager creator. So that would be my takeaways and the final inputs, Thomas. Over to you, Thomas.
Okay, thank you both. I'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Yeah, see
Thanks
you
a
next
lot.
week.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
See you all. Thank you. Bye bye. Good night.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Good day.